And then finally, one last use case that I'm really excited about, like why we launched RLUSD, is this whole world of collateral. And with our acquisition of Hidden Road last year cleared over $3 trillion. They're going to be using RLUSD for collateral in lending. And this is another game-changing step forward for the industry. So we're really excited about what's to come.
Hey everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that short intro clip, that's the managing director of the Asia Pacific region. And Fiona Murray was the second confirmation that all services at Hidden Road, the company that was just acquired by Ripple, will use the RLUSD for collateral. Brad Garlinghouse was the first to mention it in Singapore at a press conference. I know some people were saying on X that it would only be the stablecoin on Ethereum, but I don't think so, and let me show you why. With the press release that was put out by Ripple on April 8th, you can see in that third paragraph, Hidden Road to migrate post-trade activity across XRP Ledger, that's the XRPL, demonstrating its potential as the go-to blockchain for institutional decentralized finance, or what is normally called DeFi. And speaking about press releases, we've got another one just about an hour ago that Ripple selected BNY Mellon to custody the Ripple USD reserves.
Announcing just moments ago that it's partnering with BNY for BNY to be its primary custodian for its stablecoin. Joining us first on CNBC, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Wow, that's a nice shot, Brad. It suits you well. You're looking very, even presidential almost. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to be back on Squawk Box.
You need a custodian for your stablecoin. Why BNY?
Well, look, I think as the crypto industry has emerged from kind of the last administration where the industry was being attacked, working with the most trusted, the most well-regulated, and even the best capitalized partners is a way to continue to build trust in this system. And stablecoins at their core, by their nature, it's a dollar backed with a dollar in deposits. BNY Mellon has, for a very long time been amongst the most trusted partners out there for as a custody bank. So we're really pleased. We think it's indicative of the shift of tide where we've had headwinds for this industry are now becoming tailwinds, and I think we're going to see a lot of growth.
It's small compared to some of your competitors, though, at this point. How does that factor into how you approach the whole stablecoin industry?
So the stablecoin industry is about $250 billion today. Many people think it'll be between 1 and 2 trillion in a handful of years. The growth behind it has been profound. We joined the market kind of late, partly because we were using stablecoins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. As you probably know, Ripple at its core has been a payments company and solving a cross-border payments problem. We use stablecoins, we use XRP where it makes sense. And stablecoins, when we were using that, we were a big part of activity for us. We were minting a lot, and we thought we can participate in this market, given our institutional background, given the fact we've leaned into compliance and been very regulated. We have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
There are always a lot of questions as to when these moves will start to impact the XRP price. I have a couple of answers to that. First and foremost, let's just say it like it is. The circulating supply of the digital asset XRP is enormous, and it still is increasing. So currently, right now, even though we have a deflationary tokenomics with burning on all transactions, that burn is very minuscule, and we still have the release coming out into the marketplace from the escrow. So we need to see an impact on the demand, and that demand is going to come from utility. It's also going to come from speculators. We want to watch for the minting of this new stablecoin RLUSD issued by the company Ripple for that is on the XRP ledger mainnet. For XRP utility impact, I would say don't pay attention to the activity on Ethereum unless you start to see some of that RLUSD on Ethereum come back over to the XRP ledger with one of those bridges or swap partners that have been put in place. However, if you are a blockchain adoption maxi or a Ripple shareholder, then of course all on-chain activity is excellent. In just 7 days, we now have seen 100 million come into activity for the XRP ecosystem. That is a bridge that was built by Axelar, and that daily cross-chain volume is just, wow, super impressive for a start. When we take a look at the XRP volume by currency, you can go to Crypto Compare. It's one of the most reliable sources, and you can see that USD Tether really has the lion's share. You can see that in terms of its representation in a pie chart there in green. It's going to be very difficult to dethrone this stablecoin anytime soon. Then you have the US dollar, which is the blue here, coming down. In the third place is the Korean won. Well, number 6 is the euro. Number 7 is the Japanese yen. What I want to show you, though, here is number 9. This is super surprising. This is Turkey. Number 10 is the Gemini dollar. This is interesting because the 18 to 29-year-olds, which represent the Gen Zs, is what is driving that platform. And they have the largest traders of women, too. So I just love that stat. And then you come down to the 12th position, and there you have RLUSD. And you can come down and look. There's the Mexican peso, the Australian dollar, and there's the pair with Ethereum. That's the Thai baht. So this is just really, if you're into the statistics and you really like to get into the nuts and bolts of what's driving this digital asset across the global trading exchanges, this is where you look. Look at the market. It's strong today. We've got Bitcoin trading at over 109,000. XRP is up over 4%. H-bar looks strong, with a 7% gain in the last 24 hours. XLM up 12%. Good for those holders for sure. Brad Garlinghouse is trending. Yes. Why do you think? Well, I think I've got an idea.
Mr. Garlinghouse, I'd like to just kind of turn to you. I mean, I just wanted to just get your thoughts on this. I mean, do you acknowledge what Mr. Levin's saying in terms of the illicit actors, the bad actors being able to utilize crypto right now? And, I certainly appreciate the efforts that your company has made in terms of AML, but, we're still seeing these problems. Is that something that you see and recognize as well?
Ripple has always been a compliance-first company, and as I said in my early testimony, we have over 60 licenses around the world. That being said, I think anytime you see bad actors, they're looking for, as Mr. Levin said, whatever the easiest path is. They use cash, they use other assets. I've even read about them using gold. So certainly they're also experimenting and trying to use digital assets. I think the good news has been, in many cases, they don't often understand how traceable and trackable that actually is, and it's more trackable than obviously cash.
Yeah.
He had a very simple opening statement, only 615 words, and basically he says that Ripple's always been a company to comply with regulations, and they do believe that there still needs to be some rails put up to protect the investors. This channel focuses mostly on news and updates that impact the digital asset XRP as opposed to the company Ripple. But I will tell you, Vivo Power, that's transforming into the first XRP focused digital asset enterprise. They are leveraging the native asset of the XRP ledger for DeFi on Flare networks. They had another press release, and they're launching a $29 million shareholder retirement plan backed by Dubai's Al Maktoum family, signaling very strong institutional support. It looks like this company is going through its transformation with great strength. Yet we did hear that it was official that the private investment platform Linqto filed for bankruptcy amid this SEC scrutiny. Filing for this bankruptcy is happening in the Southern District Texas courts. It's a Chapter 11, which is a reorganization. They had their hearing yesterday. Kind of curious if you popped into that call. They opened up the lines for people to listen in. If you did listen in, I'd love to hear what you heard in the comments section. And to take you out on this video, I have just a minute clip from Singapore at the Apex 2025, and it is with the new XRPLF Foundation, and it is particularly with Fabio Marzella, who is now leading the charge of the Zhao DAO. Okay, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Fabio Marzella. I'm the co-founder and manager of the Zhao DAO. The Zhao DAO is represented on the board of the XRPL Foundation to give the community a voice for everyone on the XRPL. What are we doing for the community here? What we will be doing for the XRPL community will be to support the community in 4 ways. We will build the tools and infrastructure. We will fund developers with grants and programs. And we will connect people through events, hackathons, and meetups. We will lead with transparency and community input to help close the gap and turn feedback into action.